to your students is the perfect way to set expectations, build your classroom community, and just share your love of reading with your new students. In today's video, I am sharing 7 of my favorite back-to-school read-alouds. If you're new here, I'm Rachel Vincent, and I share tips on running an effective and efficient classroom so that you can get more done and still have time to teach. So I am just going to pick up a book and just share with you why I love it and what I use it for, whether it's for setting expectations, building classroom libraries, or is just a fun book to read. The first book is Do Unto Otters. It is one of my favorite books to read because there are these cute little otters and a bunny and I love to make voices and just engage students so that they feel excited about reading. But also it's all about manners and expectations, and it's just a great way to talk about how you want how we as our class want our classroom to sound like, to be like, and all of those different things. There's also a really great YouTube video read aloud about this that has all the different voices, and it's really funny. The next book I enjoy reading to my students is Desabella and Her 6-Inch Voice. This is a great book to read when you are getting ready to set those expectations for voice levels and how we use them in the classroom. Honestly, I did not get to this book at the beginning of last year, but I had several students who just spoke really loud at inappropriate times, and so I pulled this out during one of our morning meetings and we talked about it, and it really just seemed to help let the students know that, hey, when we are standing right beside each other, I don't need to project my voice because they can hear me. This next book, Dream Big, is by Dolores Jordan, who is Michael Jordan's mom, and it is a great book to read when talking about how we want our school year to go. I love to read this book when we are about to create our class mission statement and just thinking about what are the things we are dreaming for in 4th grade. Mr. Peabody's Apples is actually a book that I was hesitant to recommend because it is no longer in print, so it is harder to find. But it is written by Madonna, and it is a fantastic story about how once you say something, you cannot take it back. And so I like to tie this book into with the toothpaste activity, where you squeeze all the toothpaste out and then have the students try to put it back in, and talk about how once your words are out there, even though you say you're sorry, you still can't take it back, and the effects of your words still linger and still matter. If you can get your hands on this book, I highly recommend it. The Magical Yet is actually a new book to my collection. I have not used it yet, but it is a wonderful story about how the little girl can't do something yet, and she keeps working at it. And so I plan on incorporating this at the beginning of the year and have my students talk about things that they don't know how to do yet, that they want to do yet. And that way I can refer back to this all year long as we get into those skills that are a little bit hard, that take hard work, and that they will eventually be able to do those things if they put their mind to it. The next 2 books I have are similar in theme, but I love sharing them with my students because it reminds students how we should treat each other and how we want our classroom to be. The first one is The Invisible Boy. It's about a little boy named Brian who feels like nobody ever notices him. He doesn't feel very seen. And then a new student comes in who actually starts to notice, starts to play with him, and he finally, for the first time, feels seen in his class. It's a great reminder as a teacher how we need to make sure all students feel seen in our classroom, but also to help students feel like if there's new people or somebody who you don't play with very often, reach out to them and try to make those relationships. The other book that is similar in theme is Each Kindness. This is a beautiful story about how students are making fun of a little girl. She wears tattered clothes and just doesn't seem to quite fit in. And one of those students feels like they want to speak to her and be nice to her, but because everybody else teases her, she doesn't. And then one day the little girl moves, and so the main character does not have the option to be kind to the student who was picked on. And so it's a great story to talk about how even sometimes the littlest things, how we can be kind, but also how to do it when you first think about it, because you might not get the chance to do it again. There are so many wonderful, fabulous books out there now, and one of the things that I really like to do at the beginning of each year is to choose books that I can tie into a procedure or routine, but also into building that classroom community, making those positive relationships, teaching students how to be kind to each other, how to treat each other, how to see each other. Because at the beginning of the year, while some students know each other from previous years, you're going to have new students in your class, and we as teachers need to start building those relationships with not only our students, but allowing them to build it with each other so that we can create that classroom family. Besides picking out some of the books that you're going to want to read the first day of school, what are some of those other things you need to accomplish before the first day? Check out the video that's on your screen now, and I will show you how to take your classroom from hot mess to first day ready. I'll see you over there.